G'day and welcome back to the channel. Thanks so much for joining me. Today I'm taking you along on a 27-kilometre hike I did on Father's Day with my kids. Pretty cool. The hike was in Morton National Park, edging the Budawangs. I'm not really sure where one national park ends and the other one starts, but it's all Yuin country and I acknowledge the nation's first peoples who have been caring for these beautiful lands for thousands of generations. I'll show you on a map where we hiked and then I'll show you all the amazing things we saw. The trail starts at a place called Wog Wog Campground and heads down across Wog Wog Creek, then along a track for a few kilometres, mostly through bushland, but there's also a frost hollow which is pretty cool. You eventually come to a bunch of huge rocky outcrops which are brilliant. They kind of start to dominate the landscape, and after a while you start to get a few glimpses of the views. Basically, the hike is along the top of an escarpment, and once you reach it you sort of follow it along. And when you're in this area you get these huge panoramic views to some pretty iconic places. Didthal is amazing, named Pigeon House Mountain by Captain Cook 250 years ago, but Didthal is a much nicer name and of course 50,000 years older. There's Mount Owen, the castle's down there too, all pretty iconic spots in this area. You then keep wandering along the top of the escarpment heading northeast across Kerrang Peak. Again, tons to see everywhere you look. And when you're about 10 kilometres in you come across Kerrang Arch, a natural sandstone arch. It's pretty cool. We kept going further along and then down off the edge of the mountain, peak, whatever it's called, to this wide expanse of grasses. It's a bit of a slog, but you do get to see the rock formations from a different angle, which makes it well worthwhile. We stopped for a break before turning around and retracing our steps back to the car. All up, it was a bit over 27 kilometres and we're all pretty happy to see the car when we got back. But let's get into it and show you everything this amazing part of the world has to offer. There were insane bushfires all through this area the summer before COVID. Yeah, 2020 was a pretty shitty year. It's all growing back fast now though, fighting for sun, and the track was a bit overgrown in places, but still pretty easy to follow. You just ended up with waddle in every nook and cranny and down your shirt.
Closing up shop, closing up my store. I know this city doesn't need me no more, and I know it ain't no mystery. I'm going on back to Bear Con.
The kids and I actually came here this time last year as well, and it had been raining heaps, and when we got to Wog Wog Creek it was like this. We're getting ready to take off our boots and cross when one of the kids slipped on the wet grass and was knee deep in the freezing water. The air temperature was only about 2 degrees that day, and I was a bit worried he was going to catch pneumonia with a 20-kilometre hike ahead, so we opted for a drive down the coast instead. But this is how it was this time. Nice.
This new generation's making me feel old and dumb.
Father's Day also means spring here in Australia, and the wildflowers are really starting to turn it on.
I know I'm getting close to Bear Country.
Not really sure what a lot of these are called, but I know these are Hardenbergias and these are Hakeas, but whatever they are, they're everywhere and they're cool.
The city was killing me now.
And how about this tree? Nature is amazing. But as good as the wildflowers are, this is what you come for, the landscape and the rock formations.
Its toll. It'll take my body, but it'll never take my soul.
About 4 kilometres into the hike, you start coming across these huge conglomerate outcrops. Up close, they're just as spectacular and well worth scrambling around on for a while. The outcrops basically become the whole ground after a bit. You follow them along for another couple of kilometres and then you come to the escarpment.
And I will walk till I fall to my knees.
It's hard to describe how breathtaking this place is. It has that same wow moment you get at the Grand Canyon. Pictures don't do it justice. Everywhere you look, in every direction, stunning views and brilliant rock formations. Amazing.
heart will always be in bear country.
At about the 10-kilometre mark, you come to Kerrang Arch. It's made of sandstone and I don't know, maybe 80 foot high. It's pretty cool. There's also a couple of smaller caves and arches around here too if you look around.
Take my body, but it'll never take my soul.
This is a common turnaround point on the hike, but we kept going down off the rocky peak down to Kanowie Creek where we had a break before we started to head back.
Take my body, but it'll never take my soul.
It was an awesome way to spend Father's Day, beats a pair of socks any day. Okay, thanks for joining me on this hike into Yuin country. I hope you enjoyed it, and until next time, stay safe.